Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning. So today we have a little bit to discuss, and we have quite a few things to make.
Yes, we do. Yes,
Yay!
we do.
Okay, so we're gonna do what we did last time. I'm going to direct, and Mr. Faulkner, the husband, will be making the dish. Sound good?
I always get roped into these things.
Let's switch places so you can really get comfortable. Do you need your apron?
No, I don't need my apron today.
Okay. Let's do this.
I mean, this is what, my second or third episode cooking? I'm a pro at this point.
Yes, you're a pro, if you say so. Alright, I got all the ingredients here for you. Bam, 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 bam.
All right.
And we will be making... The first thing we're going to be making are, let's see, mini omelet cups. So I'm going to move this here so you can see. Bam. And here's one on this side, since you're standing over there. Bam. Fancy pants. Fancy pants. All right, sir.
All right.
So to make,
Oh, what's that?
oh, you gotta wash your hands. Yes, wash your hands. Cleanliness, cleanliness. Dry your hands. Dry your hands. I've seen the song that we sing for the baby.
Yeah, the dry your hands, baby shark song?
Yeah.
You gonna baby shark me? Okay. All right. I'm ready. Let's go.
You ready? Okay. So, first we're going to, we have 9 eggs here. You want to grab your spoon, or I also gave you a whisk because I know how much you like to whisk. So.
How much I like to whisk?
Yes, you like to whisk.
Okay. All right, let's go. Come on.
Okay. So we got 9 eggs.
9 eggs.
1 roasted
red peppers?
bell pepper,
Bell
red
peppers.
bell pepper. Mm-hmm. 1 about 3/4 of a cup roughly spinach.
All right.
Half of a little small onion.
Smell those onions.
Yeah, you can. 3/4 of a cup of cheddar.
All right.
And 3 tablespoons of milk.
Gotcha. So what am I
So
doing?
just throw them all in there and mix them up.
So just throw everything in there.
Just
and
put everything in and mix it up. So you can start by each recipe. You want to say again what you got.
All right.
You might want to save the cheese to the last one because it likes to sink to the bottom. But
So wait, so you told me throw them all in there, but now it's a certain order. Which way is it? Which?
I was just trying to give a little cooking advice, but you do whatever you want, sir. I'm gonna let you freestyle it.
Oh, I'm a good freestyle. Hey, let's go. Like, all right. Throw them all in there. Throw that spinach in there. All right, there we go. Little onions. Cheese. Alright. A little milk in there. Bam. Alright. Get that out of the way.
And you're gonna stir, stir, stir.
Alright. Oh, yeah. Oh, don't nobody do it like me. Woohoo!
You're so funny.
Can't nobody do it like me. Do it like me.
I think.
Do it like me.
I mean, does it feel mixed up in there?
Do it like me. Oh, it's mixing
All right,
up.
so you want to add a little bit of
I'm not
salt.
done. Let me whisk a little bit more.
Yeah, but you also still have to mix your seasonings. The last thing you want is to overmix it.
I was enjoying the whisking.
Well, you get to whisk more when you add your seasonings.
Okay. So what am I
So
doing?
we got seasoned salt. Well, not sea salt. Sea salt.
Right.
However much you feel like you want to put in there. Try not to do too much because it's coarse sea salt. So just a little shaky shake.
There we go. There you go. All right, wait. So, got the Italian seasoning.
Yeah, just a little bit, or as much you want. You like to.
Well, I'm good. Drop these seasonings in here like I'm seasoning some ribs or something. I'm She called me seasoned bae. You know, shake the seasons up right.
Oh my goodness, you're so extra.
I mean, listen, like it's a technique to it. You got to get your tapping technique, you know. And that's what plays, you know, being a DJ plays a part in that because you know that's how you work the fader knob on the mixer. So you gotta like you was scratching and cutting records like.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah. Like, there you go. All right. So what's next?
Okay. So you're gonna.
Nah, what's this
yeah,
up?
you gotta mix it up.
All right. All right.
You really like to mix a lot. I think we mix and mix and mix.
Listen, this is a stress reliever. You don't understand. Like this actually feels like really good. Like just relieves a lot of stress. I think this is a good exercise.
All right. So now we have our cupcake pan. I already sprayed it with cooking spray. And now you just want to evenly, and I see this little lip right here. You want to evenly pour it.
Wait, so you want me to pour the stuff? No, that's where I stop now. You got that.
You want me to do it?
You got that.
Wow. Okay, you're all like confident.
Negative. No.
So first, I'm just gonna like evenly pour each one into.
Well, not play on me if one of them turn out looking all like really small and sad or something like that.
It's okay. Like it's that's what cooking is. Can you give me a little baby spoon so I can make sure I get all this extra goodness?
Absolutely.
And what I'm thinking I might want to top it off with some more cheese because I'm like just not feeling the way that it's looking.
See, look, you're already talking about the way I put the cheese in it.
No, that has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do.
Well, what were we using? Medium cheddar?
Yeah. But you could like I prefer the cheddar because this has got a stronger taste. But you can also mix it with any other kind of cheese you want. Especially with the Italian seasoning, you can mix in some mozzarella.
What about a 5 cheese? What is it? Blend? Medley?
Yeah, well, yeah. And we got the Fiesta blend in there. You want to make something a little salsa-y?
Oh, Fiesta.
Fader fingers aren't steady for pouring. That is true, I guess.
Wait. Whose side are you on, Steve? Whose side are you on?
He's on the facts side. Okay? He is on the side of facts. Okay, so I'm going to try to make sure I get... Like, so some of these might be a little tiny, and that's okay. But I do want to put a little bit of...
More cheese in it?
More cheese on top. Just on top. Just so we can get a little...
I can do that.
You can do that? Okay.
Listen,
Keep going, Salt Bay. You can call you Cheese Bay.
No, sprinkle game is on point.
Okay.
Then we're gonna sprinkle on all of them.
Yes. I don't need this guy anymore. So I preheated the oven already to 375. So I mean, we do have other things to cook, so I don't know if like maybe you can use those little spader fingers now.
So
Spader fingers come in real handy.
Basically, you're telling me to speed it up.
Speed it up, chop chop.
Okay. Moving too slow. Okay.
That's a lot of cheese on that one. I guess that one's yours.
No.
I mean, like, this is very, like... Yeah, so you can do that part. You can, yeah, he can do this part. This is the part he's going to do. Now, yeah, that's a lot of cheese. Okay. That's a lot of cheese. Here, hand me the cheese. Alright, so now you're going to stick this in the oven. And this could really cook for, like, 20 minutes. So, stick that in. We put them right on the bottom shelf.
Ooh. Oh. Oh, it's hot. Alright.
Alright. So now we are going to do our mini baked bries. You want to pull, maybe you can just sit them right on top so everyone can see a little bit better. Okay, so earlier I took crescent rolls, flattened them out, and wrong one. I took crescent rolls and I flattened them out and then cut them, and then I took my brie wheel and I cut those into those cubes, and then now we place them in there. And prior to that, also candied bacon. You put bacon in the oven and lay it flat. And then you put a little bit of brown sugar and you stick it in the oven for about 15-20 minutes on 400-degree heat. And
do it like a game show.
Yeah. And then like after I did that, I cooked it only partially. Then I chopped them up. I mixed in some butter and a little bit of maple syrup. Put on the stove top real quick. So we got this nice little. You want to show them our candied bacon chops? You're funny.
From a show brie too?
Yes, Nick. You know, I do the cooking in the house, and then that's the leftover cube. So now I'm gonna let him do a couple.
Whoa! Wait! Don't come on here with these assumptions. No, listen. I gets down. She doesn't do all the cooking in the house. You know, I just do more outdoor than indoor.
Yes, I will post the recipe. I'll make it and I'll post it onto our Love Events page. I do have pictures. I didn't get a chance to upload the pictures so you guys can see them, the making of process. But so definitely like I cut the pieces of the crescent roll, but then I had like some brie left and I used more crescent roll than I wanted to, so I had to make fish shift something. So we also made today. You want to show them what my little biscuits? I had so much stuff left over. I decided to take some.
Pull these over?
Yeah, pull them on out. I made these little sandwiches of baked brie and candied bacon. So I cut the biscuits, and inside I put the candied bacon and the brie, and then I did a little egg wash over the biscuits, so to make a little sandwich. But so I still had some biscuit left. So I decided, we're gonna try and experiment on this one too. So I'm gonna put some baked brie in there and some caramelized candied bacon on top, and then we'll stick that in the oven. So let's turn this so everyone can see. Bam, bam, bam. It does look good.
Tastes good.
Hi, Leah.
Leah.
All right. So we're gonna do our little experiment. So we have you have your leftover cubes of brie. So bring them over.
All right.
And you're gonna stick each one in we put pieces of the biscuit and I have crescent roll. So we're gonna do both, see how those turn out. Put them right in the middle. Good. All right. So now you get your candied bacon. You're gonna need a spoon for this.
I was about to say, am I supposed
to
dip
it's really
okay.
sticky. It's really sticky.
It looks really sticky.
It's got butter. It's got maple syrup and brown sugar. So it's got like a real so it's super sweet. So that's what but it's gonna go great with the brie flavoring. So go for what you know. And we have so much left over. You could literally put extra on these other ones. So get them fader fingers to work, sir.
See this third game, Nicole? When we talking about my cooking skills.
You're too much, sir. Yeah, you can literally lose all of it if you want to. Let's go for it. It's gonna be mostly bacon.
All right, hey, let's
Let me get them. Good.
Let's do that. We're doing this. All right, let's go.
Yep, there you go. So there's a couple here. This one could use a little bit more. And these two. This one.
Cheat day.
It's definitely cheat day. But we got a little healthiness going on the other one. Yeah, get this one. That's a big block of cheese with hardly any. Yeah, just spread it around there. There you go. Is there any more left?
Yeah,
hit this one on the end there. Yeah, that one too. More on that one. That's the last bit.
All right, here we go.
All right. So now we're gonna put this right in with the oven with our omelet. So that's gonna go on the top rack. And that'll probably take also about 20 minutes. We're just gonna keep an eye on it. So.
Meantime, I'm gonna take another bite out of this.
In the meantime, can we get our drinks going? I'm ready for my drink.
Part I'm good at.
The part you're good at. And I'm sorry that I did not make a tag for your drink.
You didn't. Yeah.
I did not.
You didn't. It's cool. You don't care about my drinks.
I don't care about your drinks.
I mean,
Oh, you're such a drama king. Look at all these. Here, let me help you out here. We got a lot of supplies. Maybe next time we put on a tray, you just bring the tray over.
I think that's gonna be the case. Matter of fact, can you grab me my bowl of ice out of the freezer, please?
Okay. Oh, you really should have used a plastic bowl, sir.
Yeah.
Alright, there you go.
I'm taking. Alright.
You got a little
Right.
cheat sheet?
I had to review the cheat sheet real quick. Alright, so today's drink is apple cider honey jack martini. And I know we're into winter, about to step into spring.
My favorite drinks.
But this drink, it could be a winter drink, but it's definitely Nicole, I know your favorite part, drinks. Yes. Make sure you take this recipe down. If not, I'll make sure I give it to you one day this week. This is more so a fall beverage. Probably good for when you're entering fall. So the main ingredients is basically simple. So you only need 2 ingredients for this drink to make it happen. You need some honey jack, some apple cider, a little sugar, and some ground cinnamon to basically tip off the rim of the martini glass. And that's about it. Now the drinks, the recipe online calls for unfiltered apple cider. But you could just use regular apple cider if you choose to, or unfiltered apple cider. Apple cider is one of those things that's hard to come by if it's not the fall season. But let's just get into it. Go ahead and pour some.
So you're gonna pour it in here?
Yes.
Do you want me to open this?
Could you please?
You got to do stirring and stuff.
Could you please?
Wait, how do you open this? You might. Okay.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and drop a couple ice cubes in there.
We get to drink today because Gimme is in the house, so the boss is going to be occupied. So you can have a little sippy sip. So honey jack?
Yep. So honey jack. You know what? Let's do another.
You can do a little bit more. I feel like it's not enough.
A little bit more honey jack. That is definitely not enough. Definitely not enough.
Warm us up when we go outside.
Do another double shot of honey jack. There we go. Bam. All right, that works.
Oh yeah, I can probably drink that. Probably not.
So we taking shots. You want me to get the shot glasses?
No,
we're
not taking shots. Okay, let's go. Let's go.
I got the white Henny over there if you want to take a shot.
Goodness.
All right, I'm just asking. You know. All right, so. Shake this up.
You know, it's been a really long time since I had apple cider. So how much apple cider are we putting in?
I'm not even looking at the recipe. I'm just winging it at this point. So I'm going to go right there. Yeah, a little bit
more.
We don't want to be too tipsy.
I don't know.
Well, too tipsy. All right, so.
Oh, you need your lid?
Yeah.
You're doing it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there we go. All right.
What's next?
All right, so.
Oh, yeah, let me get these out over here.
So now we're going to coat the rim of our martini glasses.
With just water?
Yeah.
Okay.
So use a little water to. See if we can get that on there.
Oh, it's coming on there a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. It's getting there.
I think sometimes like lemon juice, like a lemon or.
And I was thinking about doing a lemon.
And then we probably did like a bowl or something else.
There we go. All right.
Ooh, there you go, fancy pants.
So yeah, there we go.
Ooh, fancy pants.
Yeah, so this is basically it for the drink. if you want to get, if you want to get really fancy with it, to, make yourself feel like, like you're really having a really, upscale martini. You could like use some apple slices as some garnish and just stick it on the side of the martini glass.
Like a little like Q-tip, those little
Yeah,
toothpicks and like put some like
basically, I chose not to do that.
Or like a cinnamon stick might look good in here. Like
Yeah, so you could do an apple. You could do an apple or cinnamon stick. Go ahead and take a sip of that. Let me know what you think.
Let me get the tart with sugar on it. Not bad.
All right, now,
It definitely feels like a winter, like fall drink.
now let me pour me some and take a sip just to see if you're lying to me or not. Just to make sure you're not giving me that.
No, the apple cider hides the honey jack.
That husband. Okay, like
no, like the apple cider hides the honey jack for sure.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, this is definitely a fall drink.
And you could definitely I feel like you could like drink a lot of it and not realize how much honey jack you're drinking.
Yeah, and that ground cinnamon and the sugar on the rim.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I
like sugar on like on all of my like like Cosmos and everything. Like, oh, you want martini, not martini, margaritas. And like, do you want sugar or salt? I was like, I prefer sugar. I want sugar.
And you know me, I'm really not a martini person. And if I do martinis, I don't want really anything on the rim. It's like no sugar, especially. So I'll never forget the first time I had a martini, and I didn't know anything about martinis and salt or sugar on the rim.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm following behind my buddies or whatever. I order martini. Martinis come. And I'm like, all right. So I go to sip it, and I'm like, oh, this is good. It's like, what?
With the salt?
It's like, yeah, because the salt. It's like who mixes salt with drinks?
Mm-hmm.
Especially taking shots of tequila. And then,
But I think that's the point. It's supposed to
yeah.
Let's check on our oven items first before we start really giving into all the.
That's good.
Blah. So open it. Let me check this quick look. Ooh, it's coming along. I think we got good like another 5 minutes on the eggs.
On the bottom, yeah.
Yeah, another 10 minutes on the baked bries.
All right.
So, alrighty.
All right. So we are almost at the 30-minute mark of our lunch hour. So let's get into some topics for today.
So SpaceX Starship rocket had a very big day this week. So the Starship, I think, is supposed to be one of those things like where they can handle like it could take things up to the space station and other places and then maneuver, flip, and land. And the whole idea is for it to use reusable rockets because it used to be they would send up a rocket and that would just be it when they would send stuff to space and it couldn't come back down.
Okay.
So now they're trying to, or it would have to travel in a spaceship, a ship up. So SpaceX did this awesome. Let's see, here we go. Video of it landing. So I can show it. See it there? It doesn't even look real, honestly. Like it looks this is the actual video footage from SpaceX where they had multiple cameras, multiple angles. It looked fake. And kind of looks like a penis. But it does, right?
Should I take this? Let me get
No, sir. Thank you. So it lands perfectly. It lands perfectly. And everyone cheers. Like, yay. Because the other one's like blew up. And after it landed, then this happened. 7 minutes later. Boom. Explosion. So they still considered it a success.
But it blew up.
It blew up. It blew up.
How can it be a success? Because it wasn't people in it?
Because it landed. So the idea was, so this is like actually the 10th rocket. So
let me get this straight. So if something lands, is a success.
Well,
so we send people out to space and they land on the moon.
Well, this is a test. It was a test. It wasn't like they were planning on sending stuff. It was a test of the rocket. So this is the 10th rocket, the 10th generation, I think. Okay. The other ones exploded before landing. So yes.
Looks like one of those old 60 TV shows. It did a little bit.
It did. It looked really fake. It looked fake, but it was real. Because people were watching it across the way, like, like they would anything, like when they see everything, like, so apparently, like, people watched it. I thought it was a simulation. No, it wasn't a simulation. It's real life. All right, sorry, you are out of the Matrix. You're in the Matrix. Yes, it is our tax dollars at work. Essentially, because even though SpaceX is a private industry, they are working with NASA and they are using funds from the government to do these experiments. But this is the 10th one, right? And all the other ones exploded. So everyone's like, "Yay, this one landed and then exploded." So that's a success.
So wait, so this
However,
this is the 10th one, and all the rest of them were unsuccessful because they blew up before they touched the ground.
Yes.
So this one blew up after it touched.
And it landed. It was landed for like 6 or 7 minutes before it blew up.
So that's the type of goals that we're setting.
Those are goals. But this is the part that disturbs me the most about this situation. Like, one, I think it's, rockets explode, experiments explode. That's what happens. My problem is SpaceX is trying to send people into space at the end of the year that are regular people. They're trying to send civilians into space by the end of the year. Completely manned. It's called Inspiration 4. We talked about it like a couple of weeks ago.
We did.
But
yeah, we did.
To me,
the
like,
commander is a flying hobbyist. Like his hobby is flying.
I think we're jumping the gun in a lot of scenarios. Like, I understand, like, yes, in space travel and endeavors, you have to do multiple tracks of experimentation. So, like, the spaceship, the Starship rocket, and the so when they land, they will blow up. Yeah.
Exactly. You understand? That's exactly what I'm getting at.
It's like yes and no. Like, yes and no. Only because, like, yes, like, the rocket is completely different from the Dragon. The Dragon is the manned spaceship. The Starship is a rocket that is unmanned. So
let me ask you this.
And the Dragon has already had a couple of flights under his belt, from what I understand. Not a ton. I think it's like 2
Let me ask
or
you
3.
this.
Like,
Does the rocket... I mean, the Dragon goes into space, right?
Yes. And
the rocket goes into space, right?
Yes.
So they both go into space.
Yes.
So they're both the same. I don't care if one has people on it and one doesn't have people on it. They're both the same. And the fact that you call it a successful mission because it landed before it blew up,
well,
means they need to go back, sit down at the table, and I think they need to reevaluate their goals.
The part that makes me nervous, though, is the push to have civilians in space when they literally just started, like, getting...
And from what I'm reading, they still haven't... The fact that...
They haven't perfected the Dragon yet.
And
they haven't perfected that space, the regular man flight.
They still have the same... And they still have the same date. Like, they haven't pushed back, their launch date for the program.
Yeah.
You would think the fact that the rocket blew up after landing, you would have said, okay, wait.
Because they see it as 2 separate entities. One is the manned spaceship. The other one is the unmanned rocket. So to them, it's 2 different things.
You know what I think we should do?
But for me, as a regular person, anything exploding is bad. If you want to send regular people into space.
Listen, I agree with you. Like, I honestly look at it as being bad. And I think we need to put a pause on trying to send people out of space, and let's focus on the fact that we have a rover on Mars. Like, I haven't heard anything about the rover on Mars.
But I think it's also the idea that you think that things should only happen one step at a time, where there's multiple tracks happening. You have the rocket project, you have the manned spaceship project, and you have, like, things like the rover and all that stuff. So it's like there's multiple tracks happening, some using the same technology, some using different technology. I just think as a PR stance, watching anything that's going into space explode when you're trying to convince people that it's safe to go into space is a bad move.
I mean, apparently the people that were watching, some of the
people
that were recording, they were woo!
Yeah. And all I could think of, even though it was an unmanned, like, rocket and it's the 10th one to explode, to me, like, I just like the idea of, like, anything exploding that they are working on, like, is not a good look for me. I was like, oh my god, they're going to kill those people come the end of the year. Like, that's all I could think of. So let's just hope they get it together by the end of the year. Like, I mean, honestly, like, yes, private enterprise being involved has definitely moved the needle really quickly. But I also think that people are getting extra comfortable with things that we should be very uncomfortable with.
I'm not a fan of it. And I don't think I'm ever going to be a fan of it. Even when we get to the point, which is what, you know,
they want to make
Elon Musk and them has in mind.
They want spaceship to be like taking a cruise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Like the movie, The Passenger. What was the movie? The Passenger, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And even then, I'm still not going to be on board with it. Somebody could come out and say, "Oh, you won this trip. It's all free, paid."
Let's check our stuff.
And I'm good. You can get that to somebody else.
Oh yeah, everything's ready to roll out right now. Oh, yeah. Pull it out before we burn it on fire. Do you want me to get it or you got it?
I got it.
Let me turn this.
I got it. I just need my mittens.
Alright, you need to set everything right up there so they can cool off. Because we want to let it. Ooh, that baked brie is flowing over. Hustle.
Give me space. Give me space.
Ooh. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we let the baked brie sit a little bit too long. Because we were talking too much about space.
We were.
But I mean, like, it's still going to be good. It's
technically, it wasn't about space. We were talking about
the good thing, like, the baked brie isn't
blowing up.
The baked brie isn't pointing. The baked brie isn't burning. But it does look like, ooh, those eggs. Yeah, everything looks really good. It just really gets extra melty. Yeah, it looks like the ultimate goal is to take people to Mars. Yeah, like.
Ooh, yeah.
Yes, the ultimate goal is to get people to Mars. Because, like, fact of the matter is, like, our time here on Earth is limited, and we have to be. We have to be, like, conscious of that fact.
And I believe, what was the other planet they were talking? Well, they were calling it Earth 2, yeah. but it had another name for it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's like.
It's supposed to be the closest, but
it's further than Mars, though, right?
Mars is in our solar system.
Right.
We can get. We need to focus on getting there first, and it's has the most potential to be some sort of habitability. So,
and we still don't know if there are other beings out there.
No, like, and honestly, like, I can definitely see in Avery's lifetime, and there's a potentiality for us, but definitely for in Avery's lifetime, he's gonna see someone on Mars.
Oh, definitely. Mm-hmm. Like I said, this is Thanos could still be lurking out there somewhere. We don't know it. I'm just saying, we don't have the Avengers.
You're funny. All right, let's get on to WandaVision.
With that said, let's go into WandaVision.
Yeah.
All right, so
what do you think? Because we saw the finale.
Yeah, we're talking about WandaVision finale. If you haven't watched it by now,
I should have made a spoilers alert.
Shame on you.
It's Sunday.
If you're a fan of WandaVision and you haven't watched the season finale right now, then shame on you. You just slap yourself. Because you should have watched it.
Oh, yeah, it does look good.
It does. Thank you.
Everything looks good. We're going to let it cool, though. We don't want
to... So, WandaVision season finale.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it.
Good.
I absolutely enjoyed it. I think that... I think it ended on a good note. And then of course Marvel did what they always do.
They tease something.
Throw a teaser out there at the very end after the credits.
But I have to admit,
and leave you on edge.
Like, I was really surprised. I thought that it was going to be a cliffhanger, and it wasn't. And I think it was some sort of, like, even though it was kind of still like a little like, oh, what's, like, it's a question about what the future's going to hold.
Right.
But it did kind of, like, sum it all together. Like, it did wrap up the story. I mean,
yes, like the WandaVision story itself, it definitely wrapped it up. So that's why I said it. That's why I said it ended well,
mm-hmm.
because it didn't leave the WandaVision story
like hanging out there. So my guess is like there's not. I mean, there is a potentiality for I guess season 2, but I feel like even the two end tags. We're still focused on like the movies.
Well, yeah, because the series, so it basically didn't leave you hanging on. OMG, I gotta wait another year before they start, or wait. You know, I'm saying another year. I forgot we're talking about Marvel. OMG, I gotta wait 2 years before they bring the WandaVision series back.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, it left you with a teaser of Wanda at the end, and it's like. OMG! Now I can't wait until Wanda gets, until Wanda movie drops.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Rambo. It's like OMG! I can't wait till Rambo's movie drop,
mm-hmm.
which is actually I'm saying Rambo's movie, but it's just Captain Marvel too.
Yeah. And then there's Ms. Marvel coming out. And then there's Captain Marvel 2 coming out.
Well, I thought Ms. Marvel was the series.
Oh yeah, I think it is a series. Yeah. But it's still in that realm, but it's a completely different. It's a different Ms. Marvel. So it's gonna be pretty interesting. I think like they have everything planned out to like 2023, 2024. I think that's insane.
And I honestly think, I kind of agree with what you were saying the other day, as we got finished watching WandaVision. Mm-hmm. We can kind of move up this Marvel timeline if we just cut Black Widow out of the picture.
Yeah, honestly, maybe it's just me. I just really don't want to see Black Widow. I really don't.
I'd rather see Hawkeye's story.
I feel like they should have did a whole movie for Hawkeye, like with the when he was like going through the whole like phase, where he was killing everybody. I forgot what they call it, Ronin or whatever. Like,
finish off the sandwich up first.
I don't know. I didn't touch it.
I guess I did.
But I'm ready to try one of these things here. I think it still needs to cool off.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think you're gonna get that out of there.
Yeah, it needs to cool off somewhere.
Perfect.
Dang, yeah, it needs to cool off somewhere. Oh, but it smells good. What about the baked brie? You think I can grab a baked brie? Let's see which one we want. Let's try this one. The biscuit ones look pretty good too. Like the biscuit kind of grew around it. Yeah, let me grab one.
Oh, there you go.
I'm gonna grab one of the classics here with the Crescent Roll, and we're gonna grab one with this is a biscuit. The biscuit turned out perfect too.
Alright, let me see. I'm gonna get my own fork. I see.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was trying.
So you were thinking about yourself.
This is the Crescent Roll. Bam. So I layered. I just want to put them in slices up. Layered one and layered one underneath, and then this one's the biscuit. Just the half of a biscuit underneath, and then like cupped a little bit, and then I put the baked brie on them inside, so I guess you see. Bam. They both look really good. Yeah, get your grab. So this one's the Crescent Roll, and this one's the biscuit. This one. What?
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So, I don't know. Like I said, I don't really want to see a Black Widow, and I don't know if that's like, anti-girl power or whatever, but I never really liked.
Wait. See, what do you mean no one wants to see Hawkeye for 2.5 hours? Okay, wait, one. The Hawkeye movie, if it is 2.5 hours, somebody really needs to slap Marvel. Because a Hawkeye movie should not be that long.
An hour and a half.
Hawkeye should get an hour and a half tops. Mm-hmm. Like, that's it. But when I say Hawkeye movie, Steve, like I'm not talking about, like how Hawkeye came to be what we saw, in the first Avengers movie. I would like to see
when he
Hawkeye
after all the cartel people.
I would like to see Hawkeye during the time when Thanos wiped out half of the universe. I would like to see that Hawkeye after his family disappeared, which was really weird because if it was half of the universe, it's like how does his entire family disappear? He had two sons and one daughter.
4 people in one family.
Right. So I'm trying to figure out how everyone disappears except for him. So, but
some people aren't. I guess you also think about that. Some people were just by themselves anyway. So, true. I guess balance the numbers, and drama.
But I would like to see that Hawkeye story, like everything he went through and what led him up to, killing off all the cartel members and gangsters and stuff like that.
Yeah, when he went to I think it was the Yakuza, like that was intense, and I like that. And of course, I like Mohawk Hawkeye. Mohawk Hawkeye. All right. So, moving right along. Coming to America. This is we doing spoilers and all.
All right. Coming to.
Oh, you just don't like. Okay. He just don't like Jeremy Renner.
Oh, okay. I get it.
What? You don't like Jeremy Renner? You don't like his new album? You don't like his singing style either? Because he sings. You know that, right?
Oh, yeah. That's why I was about to look at you like, oh, you're a fan with that.
I'm not.
Now I know what to get you for your birthday.
I thought it was hilarious when I saw that car commercial and he was singing in it. I was like, that's what we're doing? Yes, please. Thank you. Okay. So, Coming to America. Once again, another warning. Spoilers.
Honestly, we're not spoiling.
We're
not spoiling anything. We could tell you the entire movie and we wouldn't spoil anything for you. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh, we gotta get another. We gotta get another one. So I ate like the whole thing.
You did.
It's really good. It's like really, really good.
All right, that was just disrespectful, but
I think I'm
let's get into Coming to America. All right. So Coming to America. So I know a lot of people out there. That's funny. So I know a lot of people out there have been reading the mixed reviews. There's been a lot of people posting. I picked Coming to America on, and within the first 20 minutes, I saw a post like within the first 20 minutes, I turned it off. And then some people was like, "Oh, Coming to America was awesome. Coming to America was great. It was everything I expected it to be." But I mean, for the people that didn't like it, I think that they were building their hopes up that it was going to be just as good as the first one, or similar to the first one.
Yeah, you really had to go into this with zero expectations.
Because all right, so let me remind. And I'm about to tell my age again. I think I tell my age every episode. So let me remind all the 90s and up babies in the room. Because a lot of people post that was let down, that had high expectations, was 90s and up. So Coming to America, the original, came out about 30 years ago. 1987, right? Well, was it 87 or 88?
I think so.
No, it was 87. 1987. 1987.
I was like 7 or 8 when we saw it.
Because I was 7. If I was 7, you were 7. Mm-hmm. So 1987, because I was 7 when I saw Coming to America in the movie theaters. It's my first rated R movie.
Mine too. I don't think my mom knew what we were.
And shout out to the fact that it was both our first rated R movies. Big shout out to our moms for making one of the dopest films, one of the coolest films, our first rated R movie.
We saw it at a drive-in.
I saw it in the movie theater.
Back when they had drive-in,
which was like it used to be known for as an historical as the movie theater in Philadelphia. It was the movie theater down on Chestnut Street. It's like 19th and Chestnut. No, 19th and Chestnut. It was the Samsung. It was I think it was called Samsung Movie Theater. Yeah, because it was like 19th and Chestnut or something like that. But that was like, that was like...
See, when I told my mom, I had no idea we were going to... She didn't know in the first 5 minutes we were going to see boobs.
So, yeah. So,
I was like, what is happening?
So with that being said, so, with me and Gina seeing the original, like Coming to America, like when it first aired in the movie theaters, and... grown old with the movie, when we found out they were doing a part 2, we didn't expect it to be even remotely close to as good as the first one.
They had lightning in a bottle. That's it's like one of those things that just happens.
It's just certain things you can't recreate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You can't recreate those things. I mean, I like the fact that they tried, because for me it made for good entertainment. Did I enjoy watching it? Yeah. Would I sit down and watch it again? Yeah, as long as it's free on Prime. But
I'm not paying for it.
I'm not paying for it. But but then again, you know what? No, I take that back. I would pay for it because support my people, so I would pay for it.
Look, this is the way I see it. Like there were there were parts of it that did make me laugh. I'm not going to lie.
The barbershop guys will always make you laugh.
They were still very funny.
They will always make you laugh.
Even though, realistically, math-wise, they'd have to be, 200 years old. Because they were already, 70 and 80 years old when they, in the 80s,
I mean, that's true. I think they were trying to do... I think they were trying to do a little bit too much. Some things was a little too silly. I think Wesley Snipes' character, who played General EZ's son, which General EZ was in the first Coming to America, was the guy who presented his daughter, who barked like a dog. Woo, woo, a big dog. Woof, woof. And the fact that she was still barking to this day was still funny.
She's 30. That girl was doing that for 30 years and hadn't changed her outfit, hadn't changed her hair was all jacked up. That was kind of funny.
He was like, ooh, ooh.
I do think it was kind of funny. But then what kills me, though, is their family didn't learn a dang thing. Because the daughter was on did this, like, was someone saying, whatever you like. Oh, okay, that didn't work with the daddy. Why do you think it's going to work with the son?
Exactly.
You know? But they literally tried to get, you didn't think it was, I didn't think it was funny that she was still barking.
Oh, no, she did. She did. She did, yeah.
I didn't think it was, okay. Yeah, but, I definitely feel like, they try to literally put every black person that's working in a movie. Which
And
I appreciate
that.
that. I appreciate that. It's like, everybody got a job. You had to feel bad if you didn't get included in it. That's what it really came down to. And you could tell they spent a lot of money.
I mean, with you saying you had to feel bad you didn't get included in it, we need to put our APB to find out why Patrice wasn't in the movie. What happened to Patrice?
Yeah.
Like, did Patrice and Daryl get together and, like, live happily ever after? You know, did Patrice and Daryl break up? You know, is Daryl now homeless somewhere because, you know, Soul Glow is no need for Soul Glow anymore because nobody rocks Jerry curls?
I don't know, because Wilson still had a Jerry curl when he came to perform. Sexual Chocolate still had a Jerry curl.
Because Randy
had the Jerry curl still popping.
Because that is Randy Watson's look. You know, Randy Watson can never change his look because he has to be remembered from the What's Going Down episode of That's My Mama. So you can't change that Randy Watson. You know, it's a Sexual Chocolate. It's just Sexual Chocolate.
Yo, but like literally every single and if you weren't in it, you were performing. John Legend had a cameo after the credits was singing. Every black person was in this.
And I appreciate the fact that they tried to give out a lot of work because you could tell certain scenes and certain people they put in there. You can tell it wasn't needed, but I think they did it just to give a person a job.
The fact they put the fact that even that they put
salt and pepper.
Yeah.
With no
Spinderella.
No Spinderella.
And singing a song that she had a verse on What a Man.
Listen, and
like that was straight disrespectful.
And I'm just going to say this, like, you know, as a person from the DJ culture that has always and will always continue to push the hashtag respect the DJ, I just don't like watching Salt and Pepper whenever they don't include Spinderella.
It just hurts my heart. It makes me sad.
Yeah.
It honestly makes me sad every time I see it.
It's like whenever they don't have Spinderella, I look at it as them trying to kill the DJ. And no.
It's not even that. It's like their partner, yo. Like seriously, it's like anytime they leave her out, it just feels like it's like Run DMC. You know, it's like how everyone was so sad when Jam yesterday. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like that's just like that's like that's you know like no Terminator X. Like it's like you have to have. You know, it's like that. Just like yes, they're not like a rapper, like quote unquote. You know, but they're a part. They're a part of it. And it just makes me sad.
Exactly.
Sad.
The DJ should always like Spinderella should always be a part of them. For instance, I think our first episode we talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like before everybody knew who Will Smith was, before the name Will Smith made it to the spotlight, you know, and it was only you know the Fresh Prince. You know, it was DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. You know, Jazzy Jeff was the leader of the group, and Will Smith was just a rapper. But when Will Smith you know, decided to venture off and do his own thing when he got the show, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and then started rapping as a solo artist as just Will Smith, he still continued to provide opportunities for Jazzy Jeff. You know, he still supported and repped his DJ in many ways. Like, if he was climbing to the top, some way, somehow, he made sure Jeff was climbing to the top with him.
Yeah.
So, I think it's only right that Salt and Pepper, you know, sit down, get their heads together.
They need to get it together.
If they continue to climb to the top, I think they should somehow provide opportunities for Spinderella to climb to the top with them.
Like,
you know.
Yeah, it is really sad.
Hashtag respect the DJ. On that note, we're going to get on our last topic of the day, which is
that was a Dr. Seuss, sir.
Drum roll. Bam!
You're funny.
Dr. Seuss and the
Before we get to Dr. Seuss, like, you gotta try this. So, like, it actually turned out really well. Like, the egg The A-cup situation.
That's good.
Yeah. I feel like that's something you could have that. That's fine. But this
You
definitely
had to tell me you've been robbed.
Well, this is gonna be your breakfast for the rest of the week. So enjoy it.
Nicole, if you still on here, let me know. You want me to bring you something to work? I got you.
But it's a healthier option. It's definitely like you talk about super sugar, candy, bacon, fat, cheese situation over here.
I mean, this is definitely a healthy option.
The healthy.
I like it. This is definitely a healthy option.
Yeah, it's definitely healthy.
I feel like I lost weight already. 2 bites in.
I have no idea how many calories that is. I have to do the math to see how many calories and carbs you got in there. But it's like, you got your veggies. If it were me, like you could also add like sausage to it. If it were me, I would add mushrooms if it was just for me. But you don't like mushrooms, but
no, but you still continue to force them on me.
I sneak them in when I can.
You don't sneak them. How do you sneak? Okay, one, if I can see the mushrooms at the top, that's not sneaking them in.
But
that is just forcing me to eat mushrooms. She forces me to eat mushrooms.
Okay, mushrooms are not like bad for you. Okay, they taste good. They really don't taste like anything, honestly.
You know what?
But I like the texture. I like the.
Since the topic, our current topic is Dr.
Cancel?
Seuss and cancel culture. How about cancel mushrooms? How about that? How about that?
So, do we want to really talk? I say, look, this is the thing with Dr. Seuss, right? So the big deal came up with the fact that first it started off with, I think, a school in Virginia that decided not to include Dr. Seuss on the, I guess it's like a annual reading month type initiative that gets pushed by the Department of Education and the Libraries Association.
As you're breaking it down,
yeah,
it's certain things that you say that we need to point out. So you said a school in Virginia took it upon themselves to leave Dr. Seuss out, right?
No, it was a cascading effect. So apparently I think even the reading month in general has been pushing back from making Dr. Seuss the center. And this year they really focused on diversity in reading to encourage kids to read other art, other writers. People, I think we censor Dr. Seuss in general, everyone just thinks they read Dr. Seuss, but there are works of his that were racist. And so I think the school decided to not push Dr. Seuss. They didn't ban him altogether, but they definitely were one of the first to sort of be acknowledged publicly that they're not going to censor Dr. Seuss in their reading month. And which isn't surprising because a lot of people haven't been censoring over the past couple of years. They haven't been censoring. I think it just got noticed this year because it's got attention. But
yeah, a lot of things have received attention this year, and I'm really gonna say the attention that things have deserved this year.
The fact of the matter is, let's be honest, Dr. Seuss was a man of his time. Racism was it's still ingrained. But you talk about it was even more so part of the common way you behaved. Yeah. You just saw things this way, and you said them and you acknowledged them, and that's just what it was. And the fact is, in his books, he flat out had racist characters. Black people were not censored in a positive way. Asian people were not censored in a positive way. They're actual literal characters that show that. And so now there's a push to definitely even the Dr. Seuss, Dr. Seuss Foundation, the publication, the people who run Dr. Seuss's works and all that have decided to no longer publish certain books in particular that have racist tone to them.
I mean, which in my opinion is only right.
That's how I feel. It's not cancel culture, and I hate this idea of cancel culture because realistically, it comes down to one: certain things are as you evolve as a people, certain things are no longer appropriate. And that's just they used to have doctors on smoking commercials. And there's no longer smoking commercials. So is is that cancel culture? I guess if you call it yes, and you no longer censor those behaviors. But it's as you evolve, as you learn that things are toxic and inappropriate and harmful to people, you don't push them anymore. You don't censor them anymore. You don't push the lie anymore. So it's not really cancel culture. It's evolution. It's growing. It's intelligence. It's information.
Exactly.
And I think
It's called being decent human beings.
But I think people use this term cancel culture to sort of say, like, those people who feel attacked, they can say cancel culture as a way to sort of diminish the changes that have to be made and that have been made and that need to continue to be made. You know? And it's like yes, like if you're a person who's racist and or just like even a person who's not racist, a person who thinks that they're not racist, it can feel like an attack because these are things like, oh, I saw nothing wrong with them. You know, I grew up with,
I read Dr. Seuss a million times.
Yeah, honestly, like when
I didn't understand.
When the Dr. Seuss thing came up, I was hard pressed to even think of I could think of like literally one or two Dr. Seuss books. Like I couldn't think of like they had like there's so many that people are referencing. I'm like I've never read any of these.
I've read one Dr. Seuss book and it was Green Eggs and Ham.
I remember, Green Eggs and Ham and was it like One Fish, Two Fish, and then the Cat and Hat. And then I said the Cat and Hat like honestly, like
I even read the Cat and Hat.
I can't remember reading it. Like we dressed up as Cat and Hat and Thing 1, Thing 2.
We did.
And now I feel like, oh my god, what were we doing?
It's like, oh, burn the Halloween costumes.
What were we doing? I need some more. I want the last bit. Can I have the last bit of this? This is actually really, really good.
I feel like I gotta flag you.
Why? It's the weekend and Gammy's home.
The weekend is over.
Gammy's here. Oh, that's a long comment. Let's see if we can read this one here. I think it is what they think is acceptable at the time. There was a time you could not advertise alcohol on TV. Now there's a ton of alcohol commercials. Who decides what is acceptable and what isn't?
True.
The only people that decide are the people that are living the time right now. And I think that's really what it comes down to. And ultimately, society decides. If people didn't want, if the vast majority of the people are like, yes, this is a good thing, or no, this is a bad thing, then guess what? You side with the majority.
But,
and unfortunately, sometimes the majority is wrong, and sometimes the majority is right.
But I told you, like, the problem is, like, sometimes it's like I think a lot of people need to think before they react sometimes. Because remember I told you the other day, an article popped up of how Jeep, the car dealer,
I need some more baked brie.
was talking about they were looking at changing the name of the model, the Cherokee model.
Yep.
Right. So Jeep. The article posted about Jeep, saying that due to the Cherokee Indian tribe, I'm correct, right? The Cherokee Indian tribe, right? The Cherokee Indian tribe, and looking at everything that transpired with the Washington football team, Jeep took it upon themselves to sit back and, I guess they wanted to take the initiative before it came down to, somebody saying something about it. So Jeep decided to take the initiative and start looking into renaming the Cherokee SUV to another name. And I was reading the comments in the article, and a lot of people was flipping out. I was like, "Oh, why?" And I'm like, and then people were bringing up the cancel thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, "Oh, now we're about to cancel Jeep," and I'm like, nobody said anything about canceling Jeep or canceling Grand Cherokee's anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's like nobody went after this company. This was a company that opened up their eyes, saw what was going on,
and decided to
make a move themselves. Which I applaud Jeep for doing that.
And it might have been someone in their office decided, hey, this is the time we do it. Let's do it. And it might just be platitudes, it might just be performance, but at least it's being done. And the fact of the matter is, like, I feel like people are becoming extra attached to things that they really aren't attached to. Because it's really about, for them, it's the principle. Like, no one really gives a damn about, like, Dr. Seuss. Not like, come on, these same people who are fighting over Dr. Seuss really don't care about Dr. Seuss.
No. For every person that I've seen post something upset about the whole Dr. Seuss thing, I could ask them one simple question and tell them I'll wait, and I'll probably be waiting forever.
Mm-hmm.
When was the last time you read a Dr. Seuss book? When was the last time you read a Dr. Seuss book to your kid?
Mm-hmm.
I'll wait. Like, come on.
Well,
I think people just look for certain things to complain about, and I don't know. It's just me.
I think people don't like particular black people, queer people. indigenous people, they don't like them standing up for something and saying that they don't feel comfortable. People don't like being told it because they feel like it's a personal attack.
And why? Like, you shouldn't care.
But they feel but people people who are like, oh, like, this is who we are. Why are you trying to attack who I am? And that's what really people would are becoming very personal about these things that they really aren't that personally attached to. So, like,
and I really think people should just sit back, stop caring so much about things that you're not personally attached to.
I think it's also caring about, like, to me, it's like you're personally attached to it. But meanwhile, this thing that you enjoy and that you care about hurts other people. And to me, no matter, like, and that's my personal standpoint. If there's something that I enjoy and I love, and I really enjoy that thing, but then that thing also turns out to do considerable, serious harm to other people that I care about or I claim to care about, how could I ever use that thing? How could I ever be okay with participating in something that does harm to other people who I claim to care about? And that's what it really comes down to. Like, no, it may not harm you personally, but it harms the people that are around you. And realistically, like, when black children, brown children, they don't see themselves in work, they don't see themselves in art, then they think that there's something wrong with them. And that's a real thing. There's studies that have shown the detrimental effect when children of color do not see themselves in the world. And if you constantly see yourself in relation to whiteness, then you don't see yourself at all. And that should be the most important thing to come out of all of this. Is like, if you care about children and you claim to be anti-racist, if you claim to care about, people having a fair shake in this world and growing up to be healthy and happy, then you can't have things in the world that do other people harm.
I agree.
And, like, the fact of the matter is, like, children need to see themselves, and they need to see themselves in a positive light. So I'm all down for, if that means canceling Dr. Seuss, then guess what? And if we find out Mr. Rogers was racist too, which we know that he isn't, but you know what I'm saying, then guess what? Bye-bye to him too. Mm-hmm. And then, like, I read this amazing thread, and I'll make sure to share it at some point. I might share it on the Facebook feed right now, where he, with this young man, like, he's not a young man, he's like my age, but his mom, like, tried to insulate him and his siblings from quote unquote white culture in a sense, and she made everything black. So even the books that he read, he assumed that they were black, even though they weren't, like the Hardy Boys and but
that was a good read.
But his mom did that because if he constantly saw himself in relation to white people, then he didn't see himself at all. And then, like, so that for her, that was very important. And Dr. Seuss was one of those books that she did not read to him. So I think when we start thinking about things in that sort of sense, then it changes the conversation. But instead of people become so defensive and try to hold on really tightly to these ideas that they think somehow is an attack on them personally. And it's not an attack on them. It's just us growing and changing. But that's what happens. Every generation has their thing, and we're going to have our thing, and Avery's going to have his thing, and his kids are going to have his thing, and their things, and it's going to go on and on. It's just like, but that's how evolution happens. That's how people get freedoms and rights and happy lives.
This is
the
true.
Pursuit of happiness.
This is true.
Yeah.
It gets better.
It does get better. We got to hope so.
Right? I mean, well, hey, and you know where I stand. I mean, for those people who don't understand what things that are offensive to me and don't agree with what things are offensive to me, then I don't cancel culture. I cancel friends.
Look, I
said it. It is what it is.
I definitely, I'm going to be a bridge to as much as possible, but there's some people who are just not going to, or who are not going to understand and instead want to spread lies and spread hurt and all that. And those are the people that know we don't need those people in our lives. And I think that's changed as I've become a parent. I think that now that I'm like that we are responsible for Avery, I want to make sure the people around him are loving, supportive people. And unfortunately, I don't have time to teach them because I have to teach a little human.
No.
So if you really want to know, there are plenty of books. Pick up a book. You can find it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, wherever else. Pick up a book. Don't use me to teach you about what's right and fair for the rest of us. So I think that on that note, let me get this. I definitely want to share this link here to this feed because I think it was really, really good. I think I shared it to you.
I read it.
Yeah, so I want to share it to our
Alright, listen, that man's
Honestly,
childhood should be a TV show.
Yes, it should be a TV show. I was reading, I was like, oh my goodness, I would watch this show.
Yo, I feel like I'm about to make some more of that.
Yo, this is really good. I think everything was very, very good. Everything was delicious. Baked brie always makes me feel good. So I just shared it, and I'm about to add it to our broadcast here. If people want to read the million letters. But his name is Michael Harriot. But yeah, a lot of I love following him because a lot of his stuff is very poignant. It's also very funny. Like I said, his mom was hilarious. And I really I would definitely watch a show about his mom.
Yo, Family Court was fun. Yo.
Yeah, right.
He was like, my mom really held Family Court. I'm like, yo, that's funny.
So that's definitely another topic about what funny things about our family. But thank you very much, guys, for following us, for watching the show. I am going to make little tags, like maybe a little article or something. I'll share that link for how to make the baked brie, how to make the omelet cups, and Jared's little fancy drink here. We might remake this just so I can take pictures of it. Sound good?
Jared's little fancy drink.
Yeah, you fancy.
You love my fancy drink.
It is. It's very good. I wish there was more. But, I mean, at some point, we have to get to the boss. And it's like, we are definitely...
Jared's little fancy drink. You gotta put some respect on my drink.
All right. Love you all. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.